Alright guys, honestly speaking, I didn't know I was gonna make this video regarding the buff for Werewolf Cookie, but because of all of the extra skill powders and things like that Devsisters are giving out for this week, I am going to be making one right now. So as you guys can see right now, my Werewolf Cookie is level 60 with level 60 skill, so we are going to be using our EXP star jellies, get it up to 70, and also the skill up to 70 as well. So before I go on, I want to give you guys the little update on what has happened with our Werewolf Cookie, and it is a pretty big buff, but is it going to be enough? So let's look at right here. Base attack has been increased by 13.04%, base defense has been increased by 4.76%, base HP has been increased by 9.3%, skill duration is now increased from 8 seconds to 10 seconds, now has a 20% chance to stun an enemy for 1 second when attacking while transformed. So this is going to be the big change that has happened with Werewolf Cookie. It's not just one change that happened with Red Velvet Cookie, but new things have been added with Werewolf Cookie in order for him to become a bit more viable inside of maybe the story mode, Cookie Alliance, wherever you guys are planning to use him. But is he going to be still worth it to invest in compared to the other cookies, someone like Wildberry, someone like Crunchy Chip, someone like Red Velvet now, right? So let's go and see what we can do. Of course, what I'm going to use for Werewolf Cookie is going to be 5 Solid Almond, just because he is going to be the frontline tank, attacking the enemies in the front while he is transformed. So let's go and put the 5 Solid Almond, and then we are going to jump into the World Exploration, and let's see together how well he's going to perform using his stun while transformed. Alright guys, so we have Werewolf Cookie here, level 70, and then we have the 5 of the Solid Almond, focusing on damage resist as well as the attack speed here. So we are going to be utilizing the Enchanted robe for the extra speed buff. Let's go and see how well we do. This is going to be 8-30 dark mode instead of just regular. Let's see how well our Werewolf Cookie is going to perform. Alright, here we go. So first of all, we're just gonna use his skill, and he is gonna transform, slashing away. You did see that stun happen. It is a 20% chance, so it is not a automatic or guaranteed or anything like that. Of course, he is gonna have to slash more, and that will increase the possibility of the enemies being slashed. But once again, when he is not transformed, he is going to do a little bit less damage. Of course, the attack speed is going to be slower and things like that. And you can see right here, let's see if we get a stun here, and we got one stun that is going to be for 1 second. So it is pretty simple. The change is all right, but the main thing is going to be whether he is going to be really good inside of a arena comp, like maybe like the 4 tank comp. So I'll be trying him out, replacing Madeline as well as Wildberry. So let's see which one is going to be the better replacement and things like that, and whether he can really fill the shoe of those 2 cookies, because Madeline is a very good cookie to use inside of that speed comp. Of course, Wildberry is also very good because he has the 15% damage resist buff, the stuns, as well as the mega punch at the end. So there's a lot of things that needs to be considered before you guys do replace one of those cookies with Werewolf Cookie. But here we go. Let's see how long it takes for this guy to beat the Cake Witch here. We do have a minute and, or not a minute, 54 seconds right there now. $20 seconds now. No, he might not even beat it, guys. Maybe when his transformation comes out, hits it, and timeout. I mean, we technically killed her, but he just didn't. He wasn't even fast enough. So, but you can see that he does do damage now. He does have that extra stun. Now, is he going to be useful inside of the arena? Let's see. Let's go and verse some friends and then see how well we do. Alright guys, so now we are inside of the arena. We are going to go with these 3 right now. We're going to place right now Wildberry first, and then we are going to go with Madeline afterwards. So if you guys look at the toppings real quick, it's going to be Wildberry, 5 Solid Almond, and then our Werewolf 5 Solid Almond, 5 Solid Almond for our Dark Cacao. I am actually going to go with 5 String Raspberry for Caramel Arrow, and then we are going to go with 5 of the Swift Chocolate for our Pomegranate, going with the Enchanted Robe, Scroll, as well as the Monocle, a classic 4 tank comp, and we are going to verse a friend right now. So here we go. This is going to be a friend. We do see a red velvet here. Let's see how well we do against this team and then move up a little bit against like summoner comms and things like that, and then see how well we do. All right, here we go. Wallberry stun, werewolf transform, caramel arrow goes in, pomegranate uses her skill now, and here we go. So Wallberry stunned, monocle came into place right there, and there we go. And it looks like we are going to be able to win this one without too much of a problem. Not too many things to deal with our 4 tanks right now on the enemy team. Someone like Sorbet would have definitely made a difference, but of course there is no Sorbet on the other team, so we're just going to be able to sweep through, and bam, there we go. Easy victory right there for that one. So let's see right now. We are doing about 3.7 million damage. Remember that Werewolf as well as Caramel Arrow are the 2 that are getting the attack speed buff right now from the Enchanted Robe. So, you can see that Werewolf is doing a bit more damage right now. But now let's try changing out Wallberry for a Madeline Cookie and see how well we do on that. Alright guys, so this time around I'm actually going to give Madeline Cookie 5-sitting Raspberry and then going to be giving Caramel Arrow and Madeline the attack speed buff here. And then Werewolf and Dark Cacao are pretty much going to be the frontline tanks. As you guys can see, Madeline and Caramel Arrow are in the middle. So we're going to go with this and see how well we do against the same team right now first. Alright, here we go. So pretty much in a speed comp like this, of course, Caramel Arrow and Madeline are going to be pretty much kind of like the DPS on the team. So I feel like Werewolf would do a bit of a a different role when you use Madeline Cookie. So I think this will be a better comparison. Of course, if you do take out the Enchanted Robe buff from Madeline and then give it out to Werewolf, then yes, Werewolf might be able to do more damage, but Madeline just won't be able to do too much. So I feel like if you're going to do that, then might as well just put a Wallberry in there just for the extra stun as well as the Mega Punch. So here you go. You guys can see the damage difference here. 2.4 million compared to that 3.7 million. And then Caramel and Madeline doing more damage here because they are going to be using the 5-sitting Raspberry with the Enchanted Robe buff. So there you guys go. Alright guys, so I have Codations here this time around. He is using the 4 tank comp still with the pomegranate, except the difference here for me and him is going to be that I'm using Werewolf instead of the Wildberry, as well as I'm using the Monocle instead of the Scythe. So he definitely has more DPS with the Scythe, but I do have a bit more sustain. Let's see how well our Werewolf does against this comp, and then later on I'm going to actually switch out Madeline for the Wildberry and see how well we do against this team. Let's go. Alright, here we go. And Werewolf transform. Okay, Dark Cacao. The damage is coming out. Can our Monocle come into play? Monocle, yes, there we go. So his Dark Cacao is actually already dead. Okay, so there is that. And Wallberry Mega Punch is gonna come out. And Pomegranate. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Werewolf surviving until the very end. Very, very good. I mean, the HP buff and the defense buff definitely helps out. But there you guys go. Caramel Arrow and Madeline, of course, going to be doing the most damage. So that was a close victory, right? It was there. I definitely feel like Code would have won if, probably his Wildberry was a 1-star more promotion, as well as probably there's a bit of a topping difference as well. But now let's switch out the Madeline for the Wildberry and see how well we do against the same team. Alright guys, here we go. Now we have Wildberry here. That means that Werewolf as well as Caramel Arrow are going to be the one receiving the Enchanted Robe buffs. Let's see how well we do. And here we go. Let's see if Wildberry is going to make a difference. Alright, so we don't have as many knockbacks as we did before. Okay, so... And this time around, actually, Caramel Arrow died from the Wallberry Mega Punch. Alright, so Werewolf kind of just out there pushing, Caramel Arrow pushing, things like that. Wow, this is actually working out a lot better than before. Okay, so definitely Wallberry's Mega Punch does make a huge difference, and the constant stun. And you guys can see right here, Wallberry doing 900,000, and then our Werewolf also doing 900,000, and the Caramel Arrow, of course, doing the most damage. But I feel like the results kind of is better when you use Werewolf Cookie instead of Madeline Cookie, so that both Werewolf as well as Caramel are the ones with the Enchanted Robe buff, and Wallberry is just there tanking the damage, soaking up, giving the 15% damage resist buff, as well as having that massive amount of damage at the end with the Mega Punch. I think it's going to be a better option for you guys if you guys do decide to use this team. Alright guys, of course we can't just leave without doing an actual arena run. Of course, you guys can see that the enemies using a level 7 scroll as well as level 6 feather. So I'm gonna verse this team, see if I could actually beat it with this team. Don't really have too much faith in it, but afterwards I will move on to a bit of a more like well-built team or maxed out team. But let's see how well we do against this team first. Alright, here we go. And they do have a Caramel Arrow Sea Fairy. Okay, so interesting. So if you guys didn't know, Werewolf also is not going to get stunned from the enemies as well while transformed. So that is a big thing too. And here we go. Looks like we're going to be able to beat this one without too much of a problem. Our guys are just so tanky, right? So, and boom, boom, boom. There we go. All right. Not bad, not bad. Of course, you got to keep in mind that the feather as well as the scroll on the enemy team was a very lower level, but surprising result here. Werewolf actually doing the most damage out here with 2 million damage. Okay, so very surprising, very surprising. Alright guys, so I promised you guys that I am going to be playing against a fully built out team, and now it is going to be the chance to see a Werewolf Cookie versus a Wallberry Dark Cacao double. Probably going to be like Eclair and Clotter or something like that, and then a constant, and you guys can see it is going to be a maxed out treasure. So let's see how well we do. And here we go. They are in the 382 place, and it is a Sorbet. Now that is a really bad news, alright, for us, because Sorbet, as you guys already know, is going to be a huge tank counter for us here. Wallberry still surviving right there. I mean, of course, the 1 minute mark has not set into place yet, and now boom, that just hurts so badly. Sorbet just at that 1 minute mark just does so much damage to our cookies, and bam. I would say definitely never verse a team with Sorbet on the other team with this kind of comp. Of course, it is hard to tell, but you guys can see here this time around, Caramel Arrow doing the most damage, and then Dark Cacao, and then our Wallberry and our Werewolf just not doing too much damage because they were the first one to go, right? So, alright guys, now this time around we are going to be versing a Summoner comp, alright? So let's see how well our 4 frontline tanks can do against a Summoner comp. I don't know if this is going to be a Sorbet or not, but we'll just have to see. Alright, here we go. And it is going to be an Oyster and a Parfait instead. So it's going to be an interesting one. Alright, let's see how well we do against this team. Because we do have a Wallberry, which is a very good cookie to use against a Summoner comp. Especially if they don't have someone like a Sorbet on the other team. But man, our tanks are just taking so much damage still. Oh my gosh. We're still going to lose. The sustain on the other team is too strong. My goodness. But wow, look at the damage output. Definitely a lot more than what we expected, right? 5 million from Werewolf, 6 million from Wallberry. So definitely, you know, just keep in mind that a lot of the damage output here is going to be on the summoned units. So like Pompon, the Werewolves, you know, Cotton Sheep, the Oyster Soldiers, they all count towards the damage output. So that's something that you guys will be able to know. But there you guys go, a Werewolf Cookie review that you guys have been asking me about. If you guys didn't know, you guys will be able to see right here that we did get a good buff for Werewolf. But is he still viable or not for the arena? I would say for the arena, there's just better cookies. You know, you can but definitely just invest in someone like Crunchy Chip for the guild boss battle as well as boss battles inside of the world exploration. You guys can always use the Summoner comp. I feel like Wallberry is just a better tank out there for you guys, and especially if you guys have Dark Cacao, then using your charge powder for Werewolf Cookie is probably not going to be the best and the wisest decision that you guys can make for your account. And of course, even though he does have that resistance to interrupting effects, you know, the increase increased HP, defense, attack, and things like that. He just is not going to fit well into the arena as of now. Maybe later on in the future there might be a comp, or there might be a comp later on that pops up out of nowhere that uses Werewolf Cookie, but right now as a frontline tank, there's just better option for you guys like Wildberry and Dark Cacao. So I feel like Werewolf Cookie is not going to be the best investment for you guys for the long run. But with that, guys, I want to conclude my review for Werewolf Cookie's buff. Definitely better than before, a lot better than the little adjustment they have made with the little skill. And I say that if you guys do have extra resources and you guys really like Werewolf Cookie, then maybe you guys can invest a little bit of your resources into him. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.